Hi, today I wanted to cover off a new announcement that we're now bringing QuTS Hero, our ZFS-based operating system, to more models. So if you happen to have a 64 series, a 53E series, you're able to get QuTS Hero. So if I just go across to the download center, I've got a TS264 set up here. And if you see here, we've now got the first release of QuTS Hero available for this model. If I click into the remark on the latest QTS for this NAS, which was released a few days ago, so if I click in, I get the release notes, and if I scroll down a little while in here, we can see down here under new features that starting from this from QTS 5.2.1, certain QTS NAS can now support QuTS Hero. So after updating to 5.21, you'll get an option to be able to switch between the different OSs. So that all the applicable NAS models are listed here. So basically it covers off all the 64 series in a desktop style chassis, so not the rack mounts just yet, as well as the 253E series, so the 253E and the 453E. So all of those models are able to update to it. You don't have to download it from the download center. I was just coming here to illustrate the release notes. Now, the only downside to this is you will have to back up all the data off your NAS if you want to make the switch. There is no way to keep the data intact from QTS to a QuTS Hero swap. The entire file system will change from an ext4 file system to ZFS. There's just simply no way to keep the data, so you will have to have something big enough to back up your data. So we can see here I'm running that QTS 5.2.1 on a TS264. At the bottom left it does say QTS as well. So now I've got this extra box that we've never seen on a 64 series before, which is choose another firmware. So if I click choose another firmware, I get the option now to switch to QuTS Hero 5.2.1 0.2929. So that's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to select that. I'm going to click apply. It's going to go off and download that firmware, apply it to the NAS, do a quick reboot, and then I'll be able to go through the full setup wizard for QuTS Hero on the TS264 here. So we'll just let that run, and then we'll come back when it's finished. Okay, so as we can see now, it says we've got QuTS Hero H5.2.1.2929, says QuTS Hero at the bottom, and we're ready to go. At this point, if you wanted to, you could choose another firmware and switch back to QTS, so you can switch both ways on this one. But we're going to continue through the QuTS Hero Smart installation, so we're going to start the installation, agree to the software terms of use. It's just doing another check for the firmware. We are on the latest, we've just updated, so I'm going to just use current version there, click next. So now it wants to know the NAS name. I'll just go with the usual of the model name, username of Craig, type in the usual password, and then we're going to click next. I'm going to leave that as default for the time synchronization. I'm going to leave it on obtain automatically, but if you wanted to, this one does have two LAN ports on the back, so you can choose whichever you want and set static if you want, but I'm just going to leave it on obtain. Click next. When firmware updates are available, what do you want to do? So for me, I generally would always choose the automatically install critical updates, but it's up to you. You can do whichever one you want. I would probably set it at about 2 a.m. That's probably more suitable for me. And then I'll click next. Confirm all the settings I've chosen are correct, which they are. Click apply. And this is just warning you that all data will be gone when doing this. I'm okay with that, so I'm going to click initialize. Okay, so we're just going to sit here and let this run through this. It's going to do the full installation, and then it'll bring us to the home screen where we have to log in with the username and password that we just set there in the wizard. So we'll just wait for this to complete. Okay, so that's now finished, and it's brought me to the logon screen. So I'm going to log in with my username of Craig and the password that I used in the setup wizard there. And it's going to let me log in. So I've got to scroll through a few data and privacy agreements, some little wizard things. So here is going to give me a storage and snapshots view. Now this is the only real difference between QuTS and QuTS Hero. With QuTS Hero, we should generally use SSDs for the very first storage pool we create. This is going to create a system pool. So when we go into the storage and snapshots and we click for a new storage pool, click next. I've got 2 SSDs in this NAS and 2 hard drives. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the 2 SSDs as my system pool, and then later I'll create another storage pool which will be the 2 SATA hard drives for the actual data. You can still use any space left on the SSDs for any other task that you want, perhaps some fast storage for virtualization station. The capacity is still available. We only take less than 25 gigabytes off those drives for the system data. So the rest of the capacity, in this case, it would be about 900 gigs, would still be available for any other data that you wanted to use. But we would recommend at least 2 SSDs in a RAID 1 for the main system pool for QuTS Hero, just as we've done with other NAS before. So that's really it. That's the conversion from a QuTS based 64 series NAS would be the same for the 53E, and converting it over to QuTS Hero. If anybody has any questions on this process, do let me know in the comment section down below, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. But this is a great little step for anybody that already has one of these NAS and wants to try out QuTS Hero. Again, just make sure you back up all your data first before you do the swap. Okay, that's everything. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.